In a grand chamber filled with bright lights and strange alien symbols, the Galactic Council gathered for an important meeting. Leaders from many worlds had come together, their faces serious as they discussed recent events. But today, they were not here to talk about alliances or trade. They were here to mock Earth. Among the council members, General Zarkon, a tall alien with shimmering green skin and piercing yellow eyes, stood up. He was known for his loud voice and even louder opinions. "Let us talk about the so-called humans," he declared, his voice echoing through the chamber. "These creatures are weak. They rely on primitive technology and lack the strength to face any real threat." The other alien leaders laughed. Their laughter filled the room like a storm, drowning out any chance of a reasonable conversation. Humans were considered mere children in the vast universe, and this council was eager to remind them of that. Zarkon pointed at the holographic display that showed Earth. "Look at their world. They are divided and struggling, unable to defend themselves against a true power. They are not even worth our time." At that moment, a human diplomat named Sarah took a deep breath and stepped forward. She was small but strong, with fiery red hair and fierce determination in her eyes. She had traveled far to defend her planet's honor. "We may be different," she began, trying to keep her voice steady, "but we have achieved many things. We have explored our own solar system and are developing new technologies every day." The laughter stopped for a moment as the council members turned to look at her, surprised that a human dared to speak up. But Zarkon quickly dismissed her words with a wave of his hand. "Enough of your childish dreams. You think your little rockets and gadgets can compete with our star fleets? You are just delaying the inevitable." Sarah's heart sank. She had hoped to find allies among these beings, but instead, she was met with mockery and scorn. "We are more than what you see," she insisted, her voice growing stronger. "We have resilience, creativity, and courage. If you think we are weak, you will soon regret underestimating us." The general sneered, leaning closer to her. "Regret? What do you think will happen? Do you think you can scare us with words? Your so-called bravery means nothing when faced with real power." The council members began to chuckle again, and Sarah felt her face flush with anger and humiliation. Feeling desperate, she decided to show them a glimpse of humanity's true potential. "You will see. We have not shown you everything we have. Earth has secrets, and one day you will learn them." Her words hung in the air, a final plea for respect. But Zarkon laughed even harder now. "Secrets? What secrets could you possibly hold? The only secret I see is how you managed to stay alive this long." The other members joined in, their laughter ringing in her ears like a cruel taunt. Sarah felt small and powerless. She had traveled light years to defend her home, only to be ridiculed in front of the galaxy's mightiest leaders. The laughter of the council echoed in her mind as she returned to her seat, feeling defeated. But deep down, a fire ignited in her heart. She realized that this mockery would not be the end. As the meeting continued, Zarkon and the council members made plans to invade Earth, believing it would be easy. They were convinced that they could crush the humans without any effort. But Sarah knew differently. Back on Earth, people were watching the meeting unfold through their own screens, and many felt a sense of anger and determination. The ridicule was not forgotten. It was a call to action. She knew that her people had strengths hidden deep within. They would not remain silent. As the council ended, Sarah whispered to herself, "We will show them. They will learn to respect humanity." A sense of purpose filled her heart as she thought of her world. The galaxy may have laughed today, but tomorrow Earth would rise. With this new resolve, Sarah began to plan. She would gather the best minds and the bravest souls. Earth would not be a target. It would become a force to be reckoned with. The mockery would turn to fear, and the weak would become the strong. The hidden warship was waiting, and soon the universe would see what humans were truly capable of. Back on Earth, the atmosphere was tense. News of the Galactic Council's meeting spread like wildfire. People were angry and ashamed after hearing how the aliens mocked their planet. In a secret military base, high-ranking officials and scientists gathered to discuss what to do next. They all knew that time was running out. Sarah, the human diplomat who had faced ridicule, stood at the front of the room. Her heart raced as she looked at the faces of the people in the room. There were generals, engineers, and soldiers. Each person had a role to play in the fight for Earth's survival. "We have to show them we are not weak," she said, her voice firm. We cannot let their laughter define us. The head general, a tall man with graying hair and a stern expression, nodded. Sarah is right. We have a hidden weapon that they do not know about. Our scientists have been working on a warship in secret. It is time to unveil it. As the general spoke, excitement filled the room. Everyone felt a spark of hope. They had been working for years on a project known only to a select few. A revolutionary warship named SS Valor. It was built to protect Earth and was unlike anything seen before. They moved quickly to the hidden hangar deep within the base. The halls were dark, and the air felt electric with anticipation. Sarah led the way, her mind racing with possibilities. This warship has advanced technology, she explained to the group. It can go faster than any ship we have and has weapons that can match the power of the aliens. When they reached the hangar door, a heavy metallic sound echoed as it slid open. Bright lights flooded the room, revealing the SS Valor. The warship gleamed like a star, its sleek design and powerful engines showing the work of human genius. The crowd gasped in awe. The ship was magnificent, with a deep blue hull that shimmered under the lights. Sarah felt a surge of pride and hope. "This is our chance," she declared. "With this ship, we can fight back and show them that humans are not to be underestimated." As they boarded the SS Valor, the crew took their positions. Engineers checked the systems while pilots ran through their pre-flight checks. Among them was Captain Tom, a skilled pilot known for his bravery and quick thinking. He looked at Sarah with determination. "We are ready to defend our home no matter what it takes," he said. Sarah felt a wave of emotion. "Together we can do this," she replied, her voice strong. "Let's show the galaxy what we are made of." But as preparations continued, doubts crept into the minds of some crew members. One young engineer named Mia voiced her concerns. "What if we fail? The aliens have powerful weapons and their fleets are massive. Can we really win?" Tom stepped forward, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We have something they don't, the element of surprise. They think we are weak, but we are stronger than they realize. Our courage and unity are our greatest strengths." As the crew rallied together, Sarah reminded them of the Council's mockery. "We cannot let their laughter echo in our minds. Instead, we will turn it into our battle cry." Her words ignited a fire in everyone's hearts. Finally, the SS Valor was ready for takeoff. The crew members strapped in as Tom initiated the launch sequence. The engines roared to life and the ship trembled with power. They were leaving the safety of their planet behind and heading into the unknown. As they ascended into the sky, Sarah gazed out of the cockpit window, her heart pounding. Below, Earth became a beautiful blue marble, glowing against the dark void of space. It was a sight that filled her with hope. They were ready to protect their home. "Prepare for warp," Tom shouted, his voice steady. The crew's excitement mixed with fear, but they knew they were united. With a final countdown, the SS Valor leaped into hyperspace, racing toward the Galactic Council. As they traveled, Sarah couldn't help but smile. They were no longer just a mocked planet. They were about to become a force to be reckoned with. The universe would soon learn that Earth was not weak. It was just getting started. Inside the SS Valor, excitement buzzed like electricity. The crew members felt a mix of fear and determination as they prepared for their first battle. Sarah stood in the command center, watching as the screens lit up with data. They were approaching the Galactic Council's territory, where the aliens had planned to launch their attack on Earth. "Captain Tom," Sarah said, her voice steady. "What is our status?" Tom sat in the pilot's seat, his fingers dancing over the controls. "We are nearing the edge of their space. Scanners show a large fleet gathering. They are confident we will not show up." He grinned, his blue eyes sparkling with excitement. "They have no idea what's coming." Sarah smiled back, feeling the same rush of adrenaline. The SS Valor was not just a ship, it was a symbol of human strength and courage. "Let's make sure they remember this day," she replied, determination shining in her eyes. As they entered enemy territory, the mood shifted. The crew fell silent, focusing on their tasks. Sarah felt the weight of their mission pressing down on her. She knew that their success depended on teamwork and bravery. "We have trained for this moment," she reminded everyone. "Trust in each other and we will win." The crew nodded, and a sense of unity filled the command center. Just then, alarms blared. Red lights flashed, and a voice crackled over the intercom. "Enemy ships detected! They are launching an attack! Tom, evasive maneuvers!" Sarah shouted, her heart racing. Tom quickly adjusted the ship's course, steering the SS Valor away from the incoming fire. The ship jolted as enemy lasers whizzed by, narrowly missing them. The crew held their breath, adrenaline coursing through their veins. "Gunners, ready the weapons!" Tom commanded, his voice calm despite the chaos. The ship was equipped with powerful laser cannons and missile launchers, each designed to give them an edge in battle. The crew worked together seamlessly. Sarah watched as the gunners prepared to fire. "Aim for their lead ship. That's where their command is," she directed, her voice firm. As the SS Valor surged forward, the crew unleashed their firepower. Bright beams of energy shot from the ship, striking the enemy vessels. The first enemy ship exploded in a flash of light, and cheers erupted from the crew. "We did it!" Mia, the young engineer, exclaimed, her face alight with joy. But the victory was short-lived. More enemy ships appeared, swarming around them like angry hornets. The SS Valor shook as enemy fire hit its shields, but they held strong. "Keep firing! Don't give them a chance to regroup," Tom shouted, his hands gripping the controls tightly. The battle raged on, lasers cutting through the darkness of space. Sarah felt the adrenaline pumping through her veins. The crew fought bravely, showing their strength against the alien forces. With every hit, they proved that Earth was not weak. It was a formidable opponent. As the battle continued, Sarah noticed something strange. One of the enemy ships was much larger than the others. It loomed in the distance, its dark hull absorbing light. "What is that?" she wondered aloud. Tom glanced at the ship on the radar. "It must be their flagship," he said, his voice tense. "If we take that down, we can turn the tide of this battle." "Let's do it," Sarah urged, her heart pounding with determination. "Aim for the flagship. We need to end this now." The crew rallied together, their spirits high. They launched a full-scale assault on the massive ship, their weapons firing in unison. The flagship fired back, but the SS Valor danced around the blasts, evading destruction. With a final surge of power, they unleashed everything they had. A brilliant beam of energy struck the flagship, and it shuddered violently before exploding in a magnificent fireball. "Victory!" The crew cheered, their voices echoing through the command center. But as the smoke cleared, Sarah knew this was just the beginning. The Galactic Council would not take this defeat lightly. They had unleashed their hidden power, but the fight for Earth was far from over. As the crew celebrated, Sarah looked out into the vastness of space. They had proven themselves today, but the road ahead would be filled with challenges. Earth was rising, and soon the galaxy would know their true strength. The SS Valor floated in the darkness of space, its crew buzzing with excitement after their victory over the enemy flagship. But the battle was not over. Alarms rang out, cutting through the cheer. "More enemy ships are approaching," Tom announced, his brow furrowing as he scanned the radar. Sarah's heart sank. The Galactic Council would not let their defeat go unpunished. "How many ships?" she asked, trying to stay calm. 10 more ships, and they are coming in fast!" Tom replied, his fingers working quickly over the controls. "They are angry and they want revenge." The crew's mood shifted instantly. Fear hung in the air, but it was mixed with determination. They had just achieved the impossible, and now they had to defend their victory. "Gunners, prepare to engage!" Sarah shouted, her voice strong. "We've shown them we can fight back, but we need to finish this now." The crew moved quickly to their stations, ready for the challenge ahead. As the enemy ships drew closer, the SS Valor powered up its weapons. The sound of charging energy filled the command center, a deep hum that echoed their resolve. Tom tightened his grip on the controls, eyes focused. "I'll take us into the fray," he said. "We can't let them surround us." As he guided the ship forward, the SS Valor burst into action. The crew fired upon the incoming enemy ships, bright beams of energy lighting up the void. Explosions erupted in space as their shots found their marks. "Target the left flank," Sarah shouted. "We need to break their formation." With every order, the crew worked like a well-oiled machine. They dodged enemy fire, returning shots with precision. Each explosion brought cheers and shouts of excitement, but the aliens were relentless. One enemy ship broke away from the group and targeted the SS Valor. It unleashed a volley of lasers that struck the ship hard, shaking everyone inside. "Shields at 50%, Mia yelled from her station, panic creeping into her voice. "Keep them up!" Tom replied. "We can't afford to lose them." The crew pressed on, fighting against the odds. Sarah watched as their ship danced through the chaos, evading enemy blasts. But they were outnumbered, and soon they found themselves in a desperate situation. "More ships are coming in," Tom called out. We're surrounded! Fear crept into Sarah's heart, but she pushed it aside. We can't give up, she shouted. We need to find a way out of this! Just then, Mia had an idea. We can use the asteroid field ahead. If we fly through it, we can confuse them. Good thinking, Mia, Tom replied, relief flooding his voice. Let's do it. The SS Valor turned sharply, darting toward the asteroid field. Rocks of various sizes floated silently in space, creating a dangerous maze. The crew held their breath, knowing this was their chance to turn the tide. As they entered the field, Tom expertly navigated through the floating boulders. The ship twisted and turned, dodging massive asteroids. The enemy ships followed closely, trying to keep up. Stay sharp, everyone, Sarah urged. This is our moment! In the midst of the chaos, the crew found their rhythm. They used the asteroids to block enemy fire and create obstacles. The aliens struggled to maintain formation, and the SS Valor took advantage of every opening. Now! Sarah shouted. Fire at will! The crew unleashed their weapons, striking enemy ships that were now vulnerable. Explosions lit up the dark sky as the aliens began to fall back. Keep pushing! We're almost there! Tom yelled, his excitement rising. With renewed energy, the crew pressed on, taking down ship after ship. The SS Valor was unstoppable, weaving through the asteroid field and dealing devastating blows to their foes. Finally, after an intense battle, the last enemy ship exploded in a burst of light. The crew erupted in cheers, their voices echoing in the command center. We did it! Mia exclaimed, her face glowing with joy. Sarah felt a surge of pride wash over her. This was a team effort. We showed them that Earth will not back down. As the crew celebrated their hard-fought victory, Sarah looked out into space. The battle in the stars had tested them, but they had come through stronger than ever. However, deep down, she knew this was only the beginning. The Galactic Council would not forget this defeat, and they would come back for more. But for now, Earth had shown its power, and that was a victory worth celebrating. The SS Valor drifted in the silence of space, its crew weary but triumphant. After the fierce battle, they had pushed back the Galactic Council's forces. As the stars twinkled around them, Sarah stood at the command center, feeling a mix of relief and excitement. They had shown the galaxy that Earth was not weak. They were fierce fighters. Tom, what's our status? Sarah asked, her voice steady. Tom was busy checking the systems, his fingers flying over the controls. All systems are stable. Shields are recharging, and the weapons are ready for any new threats. He paused, looking at Sarah with a smile. We did it, Captain. We really did it. The crew gathered around, their faces beaming with pride. We took on a fleet and won! Mia exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. No one can call us weak anymore! True, Sarah replied, her heart swelling with pride for her crew. But we need to stay vigilant. The Galactic Council will not give up easily. Just then, the ship's communication system beeped. Incoming transmission, a voice announced. The crew exchanged nervous glances. What could it be? Was it a trap? Put it on screen, Sarah ordered, her heart racing. The display flickered and the face of a tall alien appeared. His skin was a deep shade of blue, and his eyes were large and serious. I am Commander Zelthar of the Galactic Council, he said, his voice calm but firm. You have shown great strength today. The crew listened closely, unsure of what to expect. Zelthar continued, We underestimated humanity. Your ship's capabilities and your tactics have surprised us. It seems you have hidden power. Sarah stood tall, ready to respond. We are not just a weak planet. We protect our home, and we will fight to keep it safe. The commander nodded slowly, his expression unreadable. We offer a ceasefire. We wish to discuss a truce. A hush fell over the crew. A truce? Was it a trick? Why should we trust you? Tom asked, crossing his arms. Because, Zelthar replied, fighting will only lead to more loss on both sides. We have no desire for further bloodshed. Let us speak as equals. Sarah felt the tension in the room. The decision weighed heavily on her shoulders. Should she accept the offer? Commander, if we agree to a truce, what will it mean for Earth? She asked, her voice steady. It means that we recognize your strength. You will have a place in the Galactic Council, Zelthar explained. We seek cooperation, not conflict. Together we can build a new future. The crew looked at each other, uncertainty in their eyes. Sarah took a deep breath, considering their options. The idea of working together sounded promising, but could they trust the council? After a moment of silence, she nodded slowly. We will accept your offer of a truce, Commander. But know this, we will not be your pawn. Earth will stand strong and independent. Zelthar's expression softened. Agreed. Our negotiations will begin immediately. As the transmission ended, the crew erupted in conversation. Is this the right choice? Mia wondered aloud. We have to try, Sarah replied, her voice firm. This could lead to peace and understanding. We can show the galaxy that humans are more than just fighters, we are also peacemakers. As they prepared for the negotiations, Sarah felt a sense of hope. The battle was over, but a new challenge lay ahead. She looked out at the stars, thinking about what the future held for Earth and its people. The SS Valor had proven its strength, but now it was time to build relationships and alliances. The dawn of a new era was rising, and Earth would be a part of it. In the days that followed, the crew worked hard to prepare for their discussions with the Galactic Council. They studied the Council's history, learned about other species, and developed plans for cooperation. Finally, the day arrived for the negotiations. As Sarah entered the council chamber, she felt a mix of nerves and excitement. This was a chance to shape the future of Earth and its place in the galaxy. Standing in front of the council members, she felt the weight of responsibility. We come here today not just as warriors, but as partners, she declared. Together, we can achieve great things. The council listened, and for the first time, they did not see humans as weak. They saw potential. With that, a new dawn began for Earth and its people. Together, they would build a brighter future, one where strength and cooperation would go hand in hand.